I'm Rebecca McElwain. I'm the project manager for Houston Faith Votes, and I'm here to talk about the what now. What now? We've heard all these powerful stories, all these powerful inspirations, all these powerful encouragements, and it is about what is happening in the world of advocacy, in the Texas Impact world of advocacy, and how can you plug in and participate? And the good news is lots and lots of ways. And my particular area of work with Texas Impact is around Texas Faith Votes. You know, Luis set it up beautifully when he was talking about how all the bad immigration bills get somehow lowered in importance and veracity when there's high voter turnout. Did you all catch that? When there's high voter turnout, that's when the wind goes out of the sails of all the people who are wanting to push these bad bills onto the state of Texas. It's like we can have our guard dog out in the yard barking, keeping all the bad bills at bay. That guard dog is high voter turnout. And so what we are doing in Texas Impact, I work with a project in Houston, and my colleagues also, Kyle works with North Texas State Votes. We also, I was on a call just a few days ago with some people from San Antonio talking about what we do, and they said, when can we have a San Antonio Faith Votes? There's a group in Galveston organizing a Galveston Faith Votes. So you see where we're going here is we can have all of these enclaves of organized, of mobilized congregations who are working to get out the vote within their own congregations, some within their neighborhoods. But truly, it's really just about the not so hard lift of utilizing the relationships that we already have to just focus people's attention on getting out the vote. Let's go to the next slide. So what Houston Faith Votes is, we'll just use this as an example to kind of stimulate your imagination of what's possible. So we form cohorts and support congregations who are doing really the work that's already on your plate to do. How many of you already have some kind of a social justice / get out the vote effort in your congregations? Anybody? Okay. Yep. Okay, good. So it's not a foreign concept, obviously. We support them with resources, in some cases, with training of imagining and creating what's possible, and helping them track and measure. Texas Impact has wisely invested in platforms that can help demonstrate to congregations, this is the number of people that you've reached, and then we compare it with the Voter Activation Network, the public list of people who vote, to see what percentage of your congregation actually got out to vote. There have been a couple of examples where congregations thought, oh, we're good. We vote. Our people get out to the polls. And we're pretty sure we're like up in the 70, 80 percentile. When they actually, yeah, you're right, you're shaking your head. When we actually looked at the data and actually just did running the numbers, it was down under 50%, under 40% in some cases. So it's a rather rude wake-up call, but the good news is, well, these are our people. We can talk to each other. We can encourage each other. There's something we can do. And so it's really about meeting people where they are, meeting congregations where they are, and getting the word out to vote. Some of the examples of activities that we do as a collective, we do bulletin announcements and reminders, neighborhood walks, voter information forums. In fact, on October 17th in Houston, there's going to be an immigration education forum where the subtitle is Separating the Facts from the Fiction, where they really are going to do a deep dive into what's happening with immigration and educating voters, potential voters, and non-voters alike on what's happening. They do souls to the polls. Sometimes people just organize carpools to the polls. Sometimes pastors will announce at the end of the service, okay, it's early voting. Let's all go from church to the polls to vote. And sometimes that's only over to their parish hall because they are a voting site. So there's all kinds of things that people can do that are not heavy lifts. I want to emphasize that again, just not heavy lifts that we can do to increase voter turnout. This is one of the tools that Texas Impact has invested in to help congregations increase voter turnout. Take a picture of this slide, if you would, with your phone, and then go to the Texas Impact website, and you can sign up for a ballot-ready code that is particular to your congregation or organization. Doesn't have to be a church. It can be just your nonprofit organization. You enter, I think, is that true? Yeah. Well, I know. I just wanted them to have this in there. This is not to do it, but this is just to remember to do it. And so to request your specific QR code that you can then put on your website, publish in your church bulletin, hand out at the door, and people can scan it with their phones, enter their information, and they can check whether they are registered to vote. Remember how we heard earlier that that's an issue? You want to make sure people check their registration. They can make a commitment to vote. It'll even remind them when it's time to vote. They can find out where their local polling location is based on their own address, and can give tons of information about the candidates that are going to be on their ballot. So it'll vary from district to district, and they can look at their own specific information. So you see how it makes it easy for churches to empower and educate their members without having to do research on every district of people that are going in your congregation. So it's a very, very useful tool. Then the best news about it is that then we can help you see what your church's participation level was. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is another important resource page that you want to kind of remember exists. If you are doing block walking, if you want to insert for your bulletin, if you want sermon tips or starters, if you want to see what does my religion, my particular denomination teach about voting and social justice, there are tons of resources on this page. You can go to HoustonFaithVotes.org. You can find it under Texas Faith Votes on the main web page. They are downloadable. They are personalized. You can personalize them with your own logo. And if you have any trouble, you can always reach out to us, and we'll help you do that. It's hard to overstate the degree of assistance, hand-holding, encouragement that Texas Impact is here to offer you in the work that you want to do. The work that we all have been hearing all day is needed to do. So this is the and some of these resources are over there, by the way, to make sure you check this out and make them work for you. Next slide. The last thing I want to say is that there is a way in which we can get lulled into believing that this is a lot harder than it is. We can feel and it's not surprising. It's been a hard time in Texas. We are facing a lot of, opposition. But I was sitting over there having lunch just a minute ago with Luis and Bea, and they were talking about how close we are to making a difference in the state. How just one office change, one flip, or one I can't remember which election it was, but Luis was saying 20 votes. 20 votes would have made a difference. And then when you have that difference, then it kind of can create a ripple effect. So yes, is it a long game? Of course. Is it insurmountable? Absolutely not. And voting is one of those things that we don't really have to twist each other's arms to get to vote. We just have to be reminded. We just have to be just a little encouragement. I'm here seeing a lot of nods. That's people's experience, yeah? Yeah? Okay, good. So I just, again, want to say, please utilize the resources. In a minute, after my colleagues talk, we're going to ask for some commitments or some, kind of raising your hand or signing up, what areas you want to participate, and be thinking now, if you want to have a San Antonio Faith Votes, we're standing at the ready to offer our support and our assistance in that possibility. So be thinking about it. All right, who's next? Thanks.
All right, friends. Y'all are still with us, right? All right. How many of y'all really resonated when Bishop Martinez talked about the long journey? Yeah, I did too. But here's the deal, friends. It has been a long journey for those of us who do this work, but I am so inspired every time I get to come see a group like this because this work is not, we're not meant to do this work alone. Amen? But sometimes when we think about the long journey, sometimes Sarah Cruz earlier talked about the doom and gloom in this work and the doom and gloom that might be coming from the Texas legislature. We feel that a lot, right? We feel that a lot. And one of the reasons we feel that way is because we tend to, when things get hard, when the journey gets long, when things look gloomy, we tend to retreat and stay by ourselves, right? But this work is meant to be done in community. This work is meant to be done together. I'll say earlier today, I was having a bit of a hard morning. My tire was flat outside, and it was really hot. I didn't want to fix that. And my friend Kyle here came and helped me change my tire. That was great. That's what advocacy work is supposed to look like, asking for help, lifting up voices who need help, and finding some partners to come walk alongside. I've had a chance over the course of the last month to be in several rooms like this. And every time I come into a room like this, I get inspired because y'all are having fun, right? Y'all can talk back. Are y'all having fun today? It's been good eating lunch together. It's been good talking to each other. It's been good to share our stories together, right? Right? And so the challenge we're going to have over the course of the next few minutes is to give you opportunities to be together with people who are interested in doing this justice and advocacy work with you, to hold each other accountable, to be in a team with other human beings, to do this work together, because we can make a difference in this election, amen? We can make a difference when we go into the next legislative session, despite the talks of doom and gloom, amen? But it's not going to happen if we don't do that work, what? Together, right? And so we hope to get ourselves organized over the next few minutes to give you some opportunities to be with teams who will do this work. How? Together. Good. Oh, you're catching on. I like that. It's not too late in the day. Those cookies have woken us up. The other thing that I want to say before we start talking about these opportunities. How many of you have had a conversation recently with your legislator? Y'all. All right. We've got to work on that. Okay. So have these already gone out, Rebecca? Are these going around, the papers? These are going to go around momentarily. Over the course of these next few presentations, I want you to write on the back the opportunities that you want to participate in. We're going to talk about some different opportunities. If you're interested in meeting with your legislator, put your name and information on the front. And here's what I'm going to tell you. How many of y'all are nervous about meeting with your elected representatives? I mean, honestly, like, it's nerve-wracking. 3 of you, tell me why you're nervous. Why does it make you nervous? You're afraid you don't know enough. Okay, what else? Go. They're very condescending sometimes. Okay.
Even if I know it, I can't articulate it succinctly and in a convincing way.
You can't always articulate it in a convincing and succinct way. Here's the deal, y'all. I hear all of those things. And you might not believe me when I say this, but I really believe, even the representatives that I disagree with, I believe that they went into this work trying to represent their community. Number 2, they're not superheroes, right? Like, they probably go to churches just like we do, or communities of faith. Their kids go to schools. They shop in the same grocery stores that we shop in. And after they get back from elected office, they're going to come back to our community. They're members of our community, and they ran for office with the intention of representing the communities that we live in. We don't have to know all the answers. We don't have to have fancy words. We don't have to know all of the public policy. When we meet with our elected representatives, our job is to tell the story of our community. And you know the story of your community better than anybody else because you live there, right? So I want you to not get intimidated by having those conversations. The point of having those conversations with elected representatives is to tell the story of your community, and you are the expert in that. Now, I did hear a story years ago, and some of you may have seen it on the news, that an elected representative went and talked to a bunch of school kids and started yelling at them and telling them how terrible they were. And the people came back from that meeting and said, that was a terrible meeting. And our response would be what? Do you think that was a terrible meeting? I would say that's a great meeting, because that told the character and nature of that elected representative, right? And then we now can tell the rest of our community how that person behaved, right? And so if we go into those meetings and they treat us in a condescending way, or they say things that don't reflect our values, those are important data points. And how can we fix that? How can we fix that? By voting them out. And we've given you some tools to talk about that today, right? Let's chat about San Antonio faith votes, right? Those are good data points. And that's why we have those conversations, so we can get to the heart of who that elected representative is and what they believe. We hope to be able to convince them to share our values. But if they don't, that's good information too, right? Right? Okay. So number one, the first item I want to talk about on the front of this piece of paper. If you are interested in being a part of meetings to talk to your elected officials about immigration, I want you to fill out the front of this piece of paper, and it'll be collected at the end. Rebecca's going to point to where that's going to be collected. Okay, we'll tell you in a little while. Right here. Sorry, she'll collect them right here. I want to talk about an opportunity through Texas Impact called the Rapid Response Team. As we talked about earlier, the Texas legislature meets for 140 days every other year, plus a whole bunch of special sessions when they're in the mood. But if you join Texas Impact's Rapid Response Team, we'll send you two things. Number one, at the beginning of each week during the legislative session, we'll send you an action alert about the items that are going to be coming up before the legislature that week. During the course of the week, if we need you to make some telephone calls on a particular topic to your legislator, we'll shoot you an email and say, you care about immigration, here are the immigration bills that are coming up this week. Here's telephone numbers to call, and here's a couple sentences of a message that you can say when you call them. Y'all, these calls can take 30 seconds. You're going to be talking to the receptionist most of the time, and you're going to tell them, vote yes, vote no on House Bill whatever, and here's why, right? There are some times during the legislative session where your representative might be a key vote. We'll be talking to our legislative team in the Capitol, and if they say, hey, Representative so-and-so is the one holding this up, we really need some of their constituents to make some telephone calls, guess who's going to get that email? Folks in that representative's district, to tell them, hey, get off it, here's what we need you to do, right? So if you sign up for the Rapid Response Team, and I don't mind if you, right now, take your phone out, use the QR code and sign up. I'm waiting for y'all to do that. I'm just kidding. Go ahead and sign up for the Rapid Response Team. We'll get you looped in there and keep you up to date throughout the legislative session. All right, I think that's all I had. And next up is going to be Fabi with an exciting announcement for you all.
Thank you. Great. So as we heard from Bishop Martinez, the journey is long and we can't do it alone. So that's why we're all here today. So another opportunity for you all to stay engaged and connected with this work is joining our immigration action team. And it'll help us, again, remain connected because we can't do this work alone. It'll help us stay informed. As someone mentioned, they feel like they wouldn't know enough about an issue to go and talk about it with their representatives. So the aim of this team is to help about what is happening, stay supported, feel supported in this role as people that are going to go out there and do the work. And then all of these things are going to help you take that action, whatever it is, do the visits, do the calls, do the letters, do the emails, do the testifying, whatever it is y'all want to do. And so we'll do this through meeting over Zoom weekly because Texas is huge and vast. So Zooms are really a tool for us to stay together and in one single meeting, talk about updates about what's happening. I'm based in the Rio Grande Valley, so I can give you all updates about what's happening on the ground in real time, right? If someone says, hey, I saw this thing happening on the news, and I can come back and say, I live here in the border, I went and checked it out, and this is actually the truth of what I saw. And so we can talk about updates at the state level, the federal level as well, because there's always executive orders coming out of our federal government that are also important to know about. And another thing is you all can then hear from each other as well, update yourselves about what you all been doing, and hopefully, inspire each other to keep doing the work. And then ask and answer any questions that come up. And then lastly, we'll talk about opportunities for action during the legislative session as well. So hopefully you all can be inspired today to say, yes, I'm going to join this immigration action team, and together we can do this work in this long journey that we're all in. So thank you all. And pass it up to Kyle.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kyle Riley. I'm a public witness mobilizer here with Texas Impact. And I'm here to talk to you all today about a new team that we're creating called Capitol Core. So we know that you all might be hesitant to go to the Capitol. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to pair you up in groups. However this ends up working out when we've got folks going to the Capitol, we want you to have a buddy. We want you to have an experienced person who's trained to go with you. They're going to tell you all the ins and outs of the crazy hallways and where the offices are, because the maps are incredibly unhelpful. So we want somebody who knows how to handle all of that to go with you and to also be there while you share your story with your representatives and senators, okay? So what this Capitol Core team is going to be is those buddies. So if you would like to sign up, if you've been to the Capitol before, if you want to go to the Capitol and you want this training, you want to be the buddy that goes with somebody at the Capitol, we want you to sign up for this team and we want you to get involved. We're going to have several trainings over the next few months to give you all of that information to make sure you feel incredibly prepared to handle those situations. So that is the entire point of this group. And so I really hope that you'll take your time to get involved with us and get involved with this team. Thank you.
Hello. Sorry, let me get out of here. Forgive me for being extremely caffeinated, but so we've talked a lot about the 140 days of the legislative session, January through May. And so this is a list of all of the events and important dates that you all need to know that Texas Impact is helping you with for the upcoming 2025 session. So January 14th, session starts. Yeah, here I'll move so y'all can take a picture. January 14th, opening day of session, we will have an interfaith service of public witness, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's an interfaith service to open up the session, and so all faith traditions are invited to come participate. January 26th to the 28th, United Women in Faith, a very popular Texas Impact event. The registration is now on our website. If you go to events, it's in the drop-down bar, so please register. It's a really great event, lots of great speakers, good opportunity to meet other women of faith. February 27th, Bobby, our policy advocate, will be hosting the Ending Gun Violence March and Lobby Day. And March 17th to 18th, Faith Day at the Capitol. It'll be a great way to lobby for health care, voting rights, education, immigration. Am I missing something? Climate. And speaking of climate, April 22nd, our expert on the climate policy, Becca Edwards, she will be hosting a climate and energy, parentheses, Earth Day, so please come out for that. And May 8th, just in time and also just in case things are not going the way we would like them to go, we will be at the Capitol lobbying last minute efforts, really just trying to rally people together for those last few moments that we will be able to. And then June 2nd, session, last day of session, sine die, and then June 22nd, the governor's veto deadline. So those are our important dates. Please come out, sign up for everything, come to these. Sorry? Oh, yes, it's all on the website. So keep an eye on, keep an eye on our events page on our website. That's where all of this will be. Also, our newsletter is a great way to be up to date with our events and registrations and things like that. So, well, that's such a great question. Thank you. If you go to our website, it is under Action Center, and it's also going to be a pop-up right when you click on our website. So those are two great ways to sign up for the newsletter. I'm going to hand this back over to Rebecca.
Okay, so here's where we want to invite you. You're getting index cards passed out. There's some probably already on your table. If you would like to participate in any of the ways that you've heard about, please write your clearly, legibly, write your name and phone number and email address on this card. And it would be helpful if you would specify interested in San Antonio Faith Votes. That's one option. The Capital Core is another option that Kyle talked about, where you're going to be a buddy or be paired with a buddy or be a buddy. What was the rapid response team? You may have already done that, but that's another one. Immigration team for Fabi, if you're interested in Fabi contacting you, or anything else, or just more information. I didn't catch what y'all were talking about. I just need to ask some questions. That's fine too. So if you would give us that information, your name, a phone number, and an email address, legibly written, please. We'll be collecting those, and what area you're interested in. San Antonio Faith Votes, Rapid Response, Immigration, Capital Core, or anything else. And then when you're done, if you would hold them up.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. I host Texas Impact's podcast called Weekly Witness. You should all subscribe to that too while we're doing things. One of the things I say on there often is our hope is that you're not just consuming content, but you're consuming content for a purpose, and that's to do the thing. So these are the things we need you to do, right? Our hope is you didn't just come on Saturday morning because there were some really great speakers. Hats off to all the great speakers today. But the real work starts when we leave here, right? Let's try that again. The real work starts when we leave here, right? Excellent. So we just want to see, Rebecca and I, the rest of the Texas Impact team, want to see how many of y'all are actually planning on doing these things. So I know you're going to sign up. Hold on, I'm going to do one at a time. We're going to roll call this. How many of y'all plan on signing up for the rapid response team? Keep your hands up. We're going to write some numbers down. We're going to hold ourselves accountable. That's a lot. Man, what a salesperson. Keep them up. We're counting. I see like 15 of y'all have signed up already, so the rest of y'all we'll keep going. 34, love that. Love that, y'all. All right. How many of you plan on signing up for the immigration team? Is that what we're calling it? Who wants to hang out with Fabi on Zoom? Oh, I want to hang out with Fabi on Zoom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I counted 26. How many of y'all would have done it if I didn't say hanging out with Fabi on Zoom? Did that make the number go up or down? I'm just kidding. I love Fabi. What else do we have? How many of you are interested in, again, none of these are commitments. I'm not like making you drive to the Capitol right now. But how many of y'all are interested in being in the Capital Corps? I counted 9. 10. What else do we have? I'm trying to remember what else we had on the list. How many of you are interested in making San Antonio Faith Votes a thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. Give me 10. I'm just kidding. What else is on the list? Is that it? Oh, that's right. Oh, we should have Abby come up and plug United Women in Faith. since I'm looking at somebody who like is a big shot in one of those events.
Yes, so I came to learn of Texas Impact. I'm Abby Gutierrez. Welcome to La Trinidad. This is my church, and my pastors are Reverend John and Raquel Fagans. But yes, I came to know of Texas Impact because I attended a Texas legislative event through the United Women in Faith. I grew up in the organization, also known as United Methodist Women, and we recently went through a name change. But what I didn't know is how much advocacy we also do. We fundraise, we cook, and we do all these great things for women, children, and youth, but what else, right? And this was the next step for me, is to advocate, not only as an immigrant myself, but as a woman, a mother, a woman of faith. So if you want to, this one-day conference was amazing, but if you want to learn more, get more in depth about what you can do and inform yourself, attend the Texas legislative event. And in fact, this event was born because of the event we had in January, which we have every January. So Texas Impact partnered with IWC, and this is what you see today. So I encourage you to get active into what you are passionate about and partner up with organizations like this. So thank you.
All right, so how many of you plan on attending at least one event in Austin at the Capitol from this list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I counted 28. We'll go with my number, organizer math, if nothing else. I really counted, I'm not cheating. I said 50 if it was organizer math. All right, hey y'all, so we've made some, if you have a form that you need us to collect, go ahead and hold that up and we'll make sure somebody from the team picks that up. I assume Rebecca's about to close this out. All right, y'all. How many of y'all had fun today? How many of you feel equipped and inspired to go change the world over the course of the next few weeks, months, and years? How are we going to do it? Together, amen. Hey, y'all have been amazing today. I know Rebecca has some things. I'm looking at our team to see if there's anything else before. Yep. Rebecca and/or Rebecca. You got anything else?
No, I think we're
Are we done? Okay. What was this for? That's for you. Thank you so much. Now, wasn't this the most educational and informative conference I have been to in a long time? Let me hear some amens. And inspiring. I really want to thank for all of you who stayed. Look at you. Is it not even 2 o'clock yet, B. Moorhead? I was sweating it. And I know I was putting pressure on some of the panels. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just say that. But not. But I think we managed to get, where we're at right now. And I'm so glad, because we cannot, like the bishop said, we got to get off the sidewalk. We really absolutely do. And so I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for being part of this movement and taking the step forward. And I just want to clarify one thing, Rebecca McElwain. This San Antonio Faith Votes, what is that? Oh, okay.
It will be a collective of churches and other organizations that want to support and work together to get out the vote in and around San Antonio with the help and support of Texas Impact.
And I think that is our group, right? We're going to integrate into this San Antonio Faith Votes group in the near future, so that we can begin to learn the steps that we need to take and learn how to do all of this with your help, because you've been doing it now for so long. And so between now and and January, because January is on us already. We're going to have one of these meetings, right, Rebecca, here in San Antonio, San Antonio Faith Votes, and we will let you know. We've picked up all the cards, all the little papers, and I have all your names. So don't be talking, don't be thinking you're going to get away. And I will be in touch with you so that we can have these meetings. The meetings, I believe, are going to be at the Mennonite Church. You know where that is, right? And we have a nice cafeteria there. And I think it lends itself very well to having these meetings. Yes, Joan. Yes. Oh. Thank you, Joan. What Joan was saying for you to translate is that in the newsletter for the Interfaith Welcome Coalition, comes out twice a week. She has a newsletter that twice a month says a letter that says, take 5 minutes to do something. And so it's very quick and very easy to sign a petition, to sign a letter, and on and that. So be on the lookout for those take fives. Is there any other housekeeping issue that we got to raise? Okay. Anything? The concert. October 12th concert for the anniversary of the 10th anniversary of our Interfaith Welcome Coalition at Laurel Heights, 1 p.m. What's the address? 227 West Woodlawn. Okay, it's a symphony is going to be playing. Very, very nice. So I urge you all to come. And you can go to the website and find all that information. And it is free. Yes, Karen? Thank you, Karen. If anyone wants to be on the board of the Interfaith Welcome Coalition, they're looking for new board members, and it's on the website. Any other announcement? None? Okay, this is housekeeping, all right? What about them? Oh, yeah. I have her address and her phone number, so if you want to work with these caterers who come out of the Roca de Refugio Church, Diane Garcia, who is the pastor, has their information, so call me and I'll pass you that. I'll pass you her information. Anything else? What? Yes. Thank you. Any other announcement? We're good here? Okay. Please clean your tables. Anything that's clean, give it, like the 3x5 cards, please give them to me. And everything else, all of the volunteers, you can take one of the wipey cans home with you because there's too many. And then just bring everything that's on the table, bring it here centrally so we can pack it away. We need to leave this place clean because they have church here tomorrow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your participation. Yay!